Welcome, Royalwood, to the Calgary Book Club.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're used to playing great big theaters, Massey Hall kinds of stuff, touring all over the world internationally. We're thrilled to have you stopping by to the Calgary Folk Club. What would you say is the difference between, or is there a difference between the big halls and the more intimate spaces of, like under 300?
Um, I think oddly enough, sometimes a smaller room feels more special. There's a level of connection in a smaller room, even if it's like a 50 cap room. Um, which is the kind of thing you start in when you first start touring. That you There's no disconnect. There's no like I'm the performer and you are the audience. It's more like we're all here for this moment and we're sharing this moment, and it's a give and take and this like dance through music and storytelling, and it's just very visceral when it's a smaller room. Like especially the 300 levels is one of my favorites. Don't get me wrong, I love performing to 2,500 people in a big beautiful theater, but it's also different because that's usually when I have the full band and it's my tech and it's lights, and it's very much like the show. And it's more about that. For some reason becomes more about my playoff with my musicians. It becomes this moment for us on the stage delivering this thing. And it's different with the intimate show, especially something like that folk club where it'd be either just me or like a duo with my bass player. It's yeah, we're all in it, all of us.
Beautiful. Well, you're well known as a lyricist and, with, what is it, 10 studio albums or nine studio
It's
albums a
nine,
lot.
nine, nine, I think. But yeah, I mean, when you start throwing some EPs and some live records, it's getting up there. Yeah.
It sure is. And you've got a new one coming out this fall, which I know is still kind of under wraps, but we're going to do a little leak here. Dear John, what can listeners expect on this album?
Well, I don't know. Do you have about an hour and a bottle of wine to share? I can let you in on all of it. Um, Truthfully, I stepped off the stage of Massey Hall the last time I headlined, and had a bit of a bittersweet feeling. It was amazing. It was full. It was a wonderful show, but something felt kind of not hollow, but kind of like I wasn't feeling the way I used to feel when I'd be on tour and doing shows. I was kind of felt a little lonely, a little empty, and like maybe I'm at the end, like I've done all these things. I keep checking off these things off my boxes again and again. Some of them are the same. I've headlined Massey before. I've done lots of things before. And we had just had our boys. We had just had our second, George. So I had these two little babies at home. We had moved to the country because of the pandemic. I had a farmhouse that I had renovated, built my studio, and made a life out there. It was like 100 acres. It's just beautiful little estate. And I was like, I don't know. I think I'm going to step back from music for a while and just take a real break and just focus on the family and the house and our life, and sort of see what happens next. And you make plans and God laughs, I think is the saying. But I had a studio, and I wasn't trying to write anything. I wasn't trying to make a record. In fact, I told myself I'm done. I should take a break. And things just started churning and happening. I'm like, well, I feel this feeling, so I'm going to write the song, or I'm going to do this thing. And I ended up recording almost the entire record myself in my studio. No other musician, no producer, no nothing. I was the engineer. I was it all. And then suddenly I was like, this feels incredibly special. Like this feels like I just made the thing for me, not for anyone else, not to deliver to someone, not to go on tour, not for accolade, not for radio, which I was so used to doing by now. Like you have this massive team of people, they all have input and they all suggest what they think this should be and what it needs. And it was just me doing my thing. And I quickly realized it was like a kid again. I was just so excited to make music. I was so happy to make music. And although not everyone knows this, my first name is John. My middle name is Royal. And there's this picture that I had in the studio of me when I was like 4 years old playing the piano. That's which when I started, and that face just looked so happy and just so like I'm discovering this thing that I don't know, and I just want to be a part of, and that's what it felt like again. So I called the record Dear John.
Well, it's like a love letter to yourself.
100% what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
that's
has renewed my faith in music, and I'm so excited to tour it and play it and get it into the world. And I'm having fun with all of it. You know, it's still the business part, which is always stressful and frustrating and annoying. And, you know, you get more no's and yeses and all the stuff that comes with the arts. But so far, so good.
well, and I think it's particularly auspicious that your previous album was titled "What Tomorrow Brings."
Yeah.
Well, you asked, and it got delivered to you. That's very fun. And speaking of what tomorrow brings, you got longlisted on a Grammy.
Yeah. I was up for consideration for best folk album, which is amazing. But you know, obviously the system's rigged because I lost to Paul Simon. So something's not right.
Something's not right. Yeah,
Something's
for
not right
sure.
in this world.
I mean, like yeah, like I've heard of them, but but to be longlisted, that's a really cool nod in the direction. And so you've had tons of nods, tons of success, and I'm really excited to hear that you kind of spoke to your 4-year-old and went, what do you want to play? And excited that you'll be bringing that to the Calgary Folk Club on
Mhm.
November the 28th.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Okay, so tickets are on sale at calgaryfolkclub.com. And we have an advantage for all of your fans wherever they are. We do a online version, and so we'll be streaming it live on the night of the November 28th, but that online is good for 72 hours. So you can have Royal for the whole weekend if you want. And of course, in Calgary, we'd love to have you join us live at Calgary Folk Club. So tickets, calgaryfolkclub.com, Royalwood, November 28th. Thanks for chatting with me.
Absolutely my pleasure.